I'm Bobby Levine. Alongside me is Geoff Webb. And Jeff has
Hey,
got some awesome news that he wants to share to everybody. Or can we share the news?
we'll wait. We'll wait.
We'll
Let's
wait.
just
We'll
let's
wait.
let's keep all of that away from this.
Okay,
We're
that's
good.
fair. Joining us tonight, we're going to be talking about diets, how everything's treating with you with the quarantine, COVID-19. Joining us from Springfield, Pennsylvania, right outside Philly, the city of brotherly love, Chuck Ringwalt.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go over your bio so the people understand who you are. You graduated from USC. That's South Carolina, not Cal.
The real USC,
The Gamecocks, the Big Cockers.
right there.
Graduated 2015. Now you live in Central Ohio.
Mhm.
Proud. How do you pronounce? Is it Hilliard? Like a Hilliard? Hilliardin?
Hilliard.
No, I know it's Hilliard, but like you're a person that lives there, so you're a.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to ask.
It's a good question.
That's the
Man.
start.
You're living in Hilliard now. You enjoy movies, all kinds of movies, and you love recent sports documentaries that have come out on 30 for 30, The Last Dance, Long Gone Summer, and Be Water.
Yeah, I'm not I mean, I love sports, but I'm not good to tell you who's on which team and whose stats, where the stats are and things like that. But when they dive into like a complicated issue or like team or a profile of person, like I'm all in. And Be Water with Bruce Lee, Long Gone Summer with McGuire and Sosa, The Last Dance with Jordan and the Bulls, top notch TV. Oh, and I saw Lance, the one on Lance Armstrong, and that was wild too.
So for everyone out there who isn't a big sports fan, I'm the biggest sports fan. Literally the biggest sports fan. And the only sport in America that's going on right now is the UFC. So every Saturday since May, I think 12th, they've had a UFC night on Saturday night showing fights. And then that first week they had a Wednesday fight. But ESPN and UFC paired up this past calendar year. And now 30 for 30 has promised every single weekend that they've been dropping a new documentary. So
Okay.
I have seen all those documentaries. I did not see the Lance one, and before we came on, I was telling Chuck that I did not see the Michael Jordan one, The Last Dance, but that's different because that's a mini. I would call that a mini series. I wouldn't call that a documentary.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I think so. They've been hyping it up for over a year, maybe two. I remember when the first trailer dropped and everybody saw the release date and they were like, what? Like, that is so far off. And I think it was supposed to come out in July. So
It was.
yeah, and the pandemic, obviously pushed it forward. But yeah, it was great television to fill that time, and it's been running on ABC a lot. So if you don't have ESPN Plus or if you can't get it on an app or whatever, I think eventually it'll air again on ABC.
Yeah, they kind of switched the scheduling. They were supposed to air, I think actually like this time. I think this Sunday. I think it was supposed to come out right after the NBA Finals ended. If it was still on track, obviously the COVID-19 coronavirus pushed everything way off. And LeBron tweeted out, I think it was in March, before we went on lockdown. He was like, "Let's get this out there for people to watch," because we had nothing going on in April, and that's when they started pumping it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know anything about Bruce Lee at all?
Bruce
I
Lee?
didn't.
No.
Okay, so Chuck and I both saw that one. It's all about pretty much how martial arts became what it is today with the UFC and all the mixed martial arts fighting combat. It's incredible. I didn't know anything about the guy because it was way before our time, but my dad watched it with me and it got so into it. He was such a loving person. He just wanted to change the world. It was so awesome. It was perfect for this.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he passed. I think it's Enter the Dragon.
Yeah,
was
right after Enter the Dragon is when he died.
Yeah, so he didn't even get to see its release, and that they say would have taken him into the stratosphere. And then it's unfortunate because his son became an actor, and he was in a movie called The Crow, and he unfortunately died on set. They were like loading a gun with blanks, and unfortunately, the blank went off like a real gun, and it shot him. I think his name was Brandon.
See, that's the part I didn't understand, because they showed everyone at the end who was narrating it, and I didn't realize that that happened. I was like, where's his son?
Oh, because he had been in a bunch of other films, but they say that The Crow would have taken him. I know it gained notoriety, obviously, unfortunately, because he passed, but they're saying that would have taken him off, into his own world. So.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was literally incredible. My dad said there's only a few people that he's ever seen that have died right at the peak of their like fandom or like fame. And he said Dean Martin was the other one. So that's insane. And then throughout the quarantine, Chuck has refocused on living a healthy lifestyle. He's readjusted his schedule, eating healthier, exercising, and sleeping better. He's also made steps to become healthier financially, spiritually as well. Namaste.
Hey, man.
Okay, before we dive into the whole podcast here with Chuck, Jeff did not know what you did last year with the juicing diet. Can you talk to us about that?
That was a mistake. I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I spent a couple bucks and I bought all this juice. And I was like, I'll just juice for like a hot minute.
Oh, you got to pause it because you came in. You were so excited for this, man. Chuck comes up to me. He's like, man, I'm about to get healthy. I'm about to reset my diet. Like, this is all I need to do. And this is what it takes. He was so gung-ho about it.
Was this one of those like juice cleanses? Like you get like 5 juices a day, and you
literally he was only supposed. Chuck? Can you explain what you could have throughout the whole day other than juice, and then how many juices you could drink?
Yeah, I think you could have like a scoop of peanut butter or something. It was a little bit ago, so I don't remember. Obviously, Bobby remembers better than I do.
Oh, it was classic. But it was for how many? Was it 1 week or 2 weeks? Was it just 1 week?
I think it was just 1 week, and I was supposed to, I think, eat or drink 5 juices a day, space them out. And I remember on the first day I was fine, second day I was fine, and I think the third day rolled, or no, because it was 7 days. I think it might have been 7.
It was the second night. I remember it was the second night.
No. It was like the third. I made it till like.
No way! You were like, dude, you only made it 2 days.
And I tried. I couldn't do it. Like I woke up in the middle of the night, and I didn't know what my ears were ringing. It was just like, it was brutal. Yeah, I mean, we're spoiled, right? Like we take for granted how much like food is so accessible to us and what we can afford and stuff. And I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, and I devoured a cheeseburger the next day, and I was like, yeah, this juicing thing clearly not.
Clearly not. He said he woke up in like a hot sweat or cold sweat?
I had like a throbbing headache. Yeah.
The body's brutal. Not supposed to do that, man. That's just liquid. Like I couldn't even imagine how I would feel like not eating for 2 days. Basically starving yourself.
He tried to reset the body there. Oh my God.
Nah, yeah. Never. I'm not doing that again.
Oh, and then I was like, can I get some of those like drinks? And he was like, sure. And he never gave me one. So.
Well, they all went. I could have, but they all spoiled. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right, but we do have to dive into our sponsors. I am rocking the hat and the T-shirt of Chase and Tail Adventures. Clinton and our good friend Jimmy are away out of Ohio, I believe, right now. I think Jimmy's in West Virginia and Clinton is now in Texas, and they are laying pipe layers right now. So, but they just dropped a whole new. That's what their job. That is their job, Jeff. Don't roll your eyes at me.
It's just an interesting choice of words.
They're pipe layers, man. Just like we're Chase and Tail.
Yeah,
right?
There you go. Yep.
There you go. Unique choice of words. Anyways, they just dropped 79 new items on their website. If you're looking for last minute Father's Day, as Father's Day is this weekend, go get your dad some outdoor gifts. They actually got some cool pens that are like fishing rods, and I'm going to go out fishing right after this because I'm living in Florida and you guys aren't. So I'm going to do shark.
There's a day where I don't see Bobby catching like at least like 5 sharks off of his thing in his backyard, dock in his backyard. I know he's either dead, something's wrong, it's a bad day at work. I need to check up on him if he's not, posting 10 pictures a day.
Battery's just chasing tail.
Chasing tail, you got it. You got it, 100%. I asked my cousins in Atlanta, and Atlanta was getting pretty crazy last night, if anyone isn't out there following the news. But I told him, I said, hope you're safe. And then he was asking me how I'm doing. And he was like, well, if all else fails with how work's going, like you could be the new Netflix series, Shark King. So I'll be looking for that. But let's dive into the podcast here. Chuck Ringwalt's visiting us. Is this your first time podcast?
Yeah, I've never been on a podcast before. This is nice.
This is awesome, man. Well, welcome. I wish we were in the studio. We could actually invite you in and accommodate you, but this is how we had to do it. But quarantine is happening still for some people like myself. The coronavirus has not left us. Chuck, what has motivated you? I mean, this is a time where a lot of people are sad. I mean, they came out with an article in the AP saying more people are sad or not happy nowadays than ever before in the last 50 years. Are you happy? Are you living life to the fullest or what? What's going on?
No, I'm happy. And I saw your snap. You were checking that headline a little bit. You were saying, fact checking that. So I appreciate doing that. But I just wanted to make sure. And I'm, obviously I'm not an expert or nothing. And I'm probably not doing as much as I should. But I felt like, try and use the quarantine or the stay at home stuff as much of a blessing as you can to maybe reset. I know not everybody has that, the ability to do that. And so I don't want to take it for granted, and I don't want to come out of it just laying on my couch and gaining 10, 15 pounds either. So, and not that I'm not like lifting weights or anything like that, but I feel like I took time to maybe reset and got some good sleep, like made sure I was getting to bed at a certain time instead of, staying up and watching Netflix. Figured, try and eat healthier since we're not since in the beginning we weren't able to go to grocery stores and things like that. I ordered a lot of my food curbside pickup, or I started this thing called Freshly, where like
Can you explain that? Can you first explain that to everyone what it is?
Yeah. And I'm obviously not associated with the brand or anything, but I do love it. It's like you have an app. It's called Freshly, and you can order up to I think 12 meals a week, and it's a single serve meal. You just pop it right in the microwave. They're refrigerated. They're not frozen. I'm not gluten free or anything like that, but it is gluten free, and it's like it watches like the sugar. I don't think there's any sugar in it, and it tastes delicious. Today I had, what did I have today? Chicken romesco, which is like an Italian like red sauce, like an orange or red sauce with it, and then it had a certain type of rice, and it's never white rice. It's always like I think like jasmine or basmati or brown. A lot of cauliflower like type stuff involved. I mean, Jeff, you know more about that stuff than I do, but steak peppercorn was one. Yeah. And Bobby, you probably know a good deal about like alternatives to like white grain and things like that. But yes, steak peppercorn with mashed potatoes is like they're made a certain way. There's even mac and cheese, but that's made a certain type of way. But the calories are low. I think the macros are pretty good. And I mean, I've lost some weight since I've been on it, which has been good. So I think I was at like.
You look skinny, dude. You look like you've definitely lost some weight.
Yeah, I mean, I need to like probably eat a little bit more. Like, I just want to like I wanted to reset, eat healthier, so that when I do eat more, I'm eating healthier things. You get what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
That's what you got to do. You got to. It's got to be a gradual lifestyle change. Like, and this is like a good thing to like base that off of. Like, you have this like strict regimen of like, well, these are the meals you have, so that's what you're gonna eat. But kind of like ingraining like this style of food, the style of eating in you while you're restricted. When you open up, you know, because this stuff, because you like this stuff so much, you're gonna want to see, what else can I do with it? It'll, hopefully that'll lead to, healthier choices down the road. So that's why I kind of like it.
You know what else is a good diet to reset yourself? Juicing.
Yeah,
great things.
If I hear it works for you, to go for it, but whoa.
No, we are not all blessed like Jeff to come out with a blank canvas after he's put work in to get to where he is. See, last episode, Chuck, we had Patrick Wilson. He lives out in LA. He is a online trainer. He's been absolutely blowing up. He's got over 100,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah, he's taken off during this quarantine coronavirus time. And I was like, listen, we got to get Jeff on your workout regimen, because this dude is he stabbed me this week. He was like, a piece of paper would split me in half or something like that. And I was dying.
Yeah. There's not much here yet, but
2 days in a row, though. 2 days in a row, correct?
No, Tuesday, Thursday, 2 days this week.
Okay.
Spacing it out. But
Are you sore?
No. I guess I'm not doing it right if I'm not sore after lifting for 2 days in a week. But
man, I love it. Now, Chuck, you said you have been working out a little bit.
I've been trying to run more, and so we were talking about things in steps. I used to run in high school, and so I would run a lot, but I mean, that all went away after college, and then, being out of college for five years now, I guess. And I didn't run in college, but you go through college and you don't really work out a ton, or I didn't. And then, these last couple of years, kind of eased up on it. But I tried running 3 miles, which would have been a piece of cake in high school. And I was dying. So I started, I walked a mile, and then I'd run a mile. And then, that became walking, 2 miles and running 2 miles. And then now I'm running 3, and then I'll walk 3 afterward. So I'm not
cardio in big time cardio.
Yeah. I think everything's a balance. Eventually I'm going to incorporate trying to do push-ups, sit-ups, weightlifting and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm very all in on something, and then I burn out quick. For instance, I was doing really well last year working out, every day, lifting, and I saw some progress, but then I went on a trip, and after that trip, I let it all go. I was done. And then you start eating junk food, and you don't go to the gym, and then you're tired, and it just all snowballs. So I'm trying to lay down the sleep, lay down the eating, lay down the running, incorporate the weightlifting, and do it intermittently. I'm not trying to get jacked or anything like that. So just trying to feel good overall, on a physical level. And hopefully it'll only it'll move toward work, and then friends, relationships, stuff like that. So
it's the small things. It's those small 1 mile runs or 1 mile walks that get you overall in the mood to make better decisions going forward. If you go to the gym every single day and do a full body workout every single day, you're going to burn out. That's it's not sustainable. But if you start with very small sustainable things, that's something to build off of, just like the food.
Absolutely. No, 100%. Guys, we are joined right now with Chuck Ringwalt from outside of Philadelphia, and Geoff Webb, my guy as well, always on the podcast with me. We're talking about lifestyle changes during the coronavirus and how everything's affecting everybody differently. Obviously, Chuck, you're having a good mindset. I think that's key with anything. Everything in life won't be great. You're going to have your ups and your downs, but hopefully you have more ups than your downs, and you take the high road sometimes. And this year is probably the craziest year in the last 300 years of life. I mean, it's been absolutely insane, from starting off with Kobe Bryant's death to the coronavirus to the riots and protests over the last couple of weeks. So everything's been, this has affected everybody. There's not a single person this has not affected on the planet Earth. I've said this before in this podcast. When I first came down here to quarantine, before I got the job, the first week I went and bought a bicycle. I have now put on 925 miles on this bike in the last, I guess, 75 days. So it's pretty incredible. That's my workout. I've been averaging, I guess, fully like 10 to 12 miles a day. With the new schedule I have to only get 7 before I was getting like 17 and a half or something like that. But I've always been a big guy into working out, and I can't go to the gym now. Jeff, you've been going to the gym recently, correct?
Yeah, I started my fitness center at my complex here. Just opened up a couple weeks ago, and I kind of gave it a little, like I gave it a couple weeks for like people to like filter in and out and like see who was actually going, and I just kind of like walked past there and saw like how busy it was. But the past I've been in there about twice now doing regular workouts, and it's not
Has there been
crowded.
anyone else? Yeah, no one's in there.
There's usually there's 2 rooms. There's like a free weight room and like a machine room. And the times that I've been in there, it's just like me in one room and the guy in the other room, and we'll like switch. We just kind of like, it's not like policy or anything. I think there's like an 8-person max, but the times that I was there, I just talked to the guy and I was like, "Hey, you want to like switch rooms?" And he was totally fine with that.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it's all going.
Yeah, I like Chuck though. He was talking about getting on a nice regimen. I think schedule's huge. And Chuck, do you feel better when you go to bed earlier in the day?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, like you feel refreshed. If I stay up too late, I feel it the next day where I'm like dragging, and yeah, I think I know everybody's different. I mean, there's people that can go on 4 hours of sleep, but like yeah, I have a hard time if I stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I got to be up at 6, or we're at work by 8 or 9, or whatever. So
I can vouch for that too. And I mean, we were all in college at one point. Jeff is still in college, but we could do that when we were in college, and you could stay up late and you get up, and that was just a routine, sleeping in. And now we're getting older, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
My sleep schedule was, sorry, Chuck, go ahead.
You're good. Stay up till 2, like, every night, and either you're watching TV or you're out downtown, and then you get back, and then you're ready for your 8 a.m. the next day. And yeah, I couldn't do that anymore.
My sleep schedule was so fucked. Like, it is hard to believe that it was only like 2 years ago. My sophomore year, I had an 8 a.m. And I'm so sorry to my parents who might hear this, but the amount of times I stayed up until 3 a.m. the night before, and the amount of times that I did not go to that 8 a.m., I am like, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to Dr. Lockstamfer. Great guy. I loved his class when I was there. Acoustics is a very interesting subject. I just wasn't conscious for a lot of it. So
okay, you're all right. Everyone here and that's watching has definitely skipped a class or 2 in college.
Oh yeah,
I don't care what the Angel Chuck says. He's definitely skipped a class or 2 in his life.
No, it bit me in the butt. Yeah, one time I went home for Christmas break, and I hooked my email into the family iPad, and I had like missed a few classes, and I sent my email saying like, "Hey, I know like I'm on the brink of like missing too many of these classes. Like, is there anything I can do to bring my grade up?" And it all worked out. I passed with like a B+, I think, but my parents found that on, like, I'd left and I hadn't removed my email from it, and oof, yeah, didn't.
Oh my God, that's bad. That's really bad. Oh my goodness. That's like the awkward, like, oh, I guess I got to tell you about this. Yeah. So what challenges have you guys faced? Obviously, getting on a schedule is pretty tough. Waking up early for work or whatever. Chuck, you got any tough challenges with this whole process?
Probably just like sticking with it. It's so easy to just lay on the couch, or I mean, if you're working right now, you come home from work, or you got a long day, or if you're working from home, I'm sure like the couch is very like tempting just to like pass out on and be like, oh, I'll get to that later. And then you're inside a lot, so maybe you're eating more junk food or what have you. But if you can stick with it, I would just say probably consistency. I would hope. So what about you guys?
Jeff?
When I started like kind of getting into more of like a routine, the hardest thing, honestly, was just finding a reason why. Like, I'm not like really. I'm not trying to impress anybody right now. Like,
Impressing me, man.
I am physically not seeing many people. So like, I can let myself go, and like, if I go to work, my coworkers, like, they'll just they'll understand. But like, when it came to the point of like that, I realized that like I should be impressing myself about like these changes that I'm making. So I started, doing things a little bit differently. I started running. I never ran before in my life. I hated it. But once you start doing a mile a day, it's not too bad. I started biking. I'm not Bobby. I'm not crazy. But to supplement that, I do like exercise that I really like. Like, if anybody listening, Franklin County resident, Blacklick Metro Parks Golf Course has a practice course. Any Franklin County resident can play it for free. Any day of the week. So I've been playing so much golf.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's been like walking 9 holes with clubs, and sometimes I'll go around twice. Hell, it's free. Walking 9 holes, 18 holes with clubs is like wonderful exercise, especially the swinging. Perfect.
Yeah, that's the one thing Dad has done. I think he was going over his credit card bill last month, and I think he golfed 21 times.
That's expensive.
It is, but he's got a deal where he's like a member. Like he bought this membership, so he gets like half off, and he's also a senior citizen now. He just turned 65. So he's got these deals lined up. So like when he'd go, I mean, he's golfs all the time, so all these guys know him by name when he goes into the clubhouse and stuff like that. But going off that, I was in the beginning of the podcast, I was saying like we have sport. The one sport is UFC, and I've been like obsessed with it every weekend because it gives me something to do. And I was like, I really want to write a letter once this is all over and just thank the commissioner, Dana White, saying like, thank you so much for giving us something to do. And he said he wanted to send a letter to DeSantis, who's the governor down here, and to say like, thank you for keeping the golf courses open, just because it has allowed him to get out of the house and to do something and not stay confined into your own house the whole time.
It's a safe thing too, because you can go by yourself. If you're with other people, like you're in a grass field, like you can stay as far away from people as you need to. You're only using your own clubs. Yep. You're only touching your own balls. They
said I went once with him, and they all use carts, but everyone has their own cart.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Even when we arrived together, he said, nope, they won't allow us. Even though we live together, they have to give us their own cart. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, if you go, Jeff and Bobby, when you come back up here, I'd like to get into it. Like, I'd like to start trying to get into golf. So I don't have clubs, but I'm sure my dad and my brothers golf, so I'm sure they have clubs lying around that I could use.
I mean, I just like talking about it, you can see my dad's played it. Plays it entire life. He's 65. I mean, you can play till you're 80 or 90. I mean, people are like that. It might be crazy, but I mean, it gets them out of the house, gets them to do something. To piggyback off what Jeff just said, though, about getting in shape for himself, I've been on a strict regimen for the last 2 years now about just going to the gym. And I think the biggest challenge for me is the no gym part, and having to, the first week when I got back from Florida in March with all my college buddies for our fantasy baseball trip, it was nonstop going on YouTube and Instagram to figure out how I can stay in shape by being at home while being in Ohio during shitty weather months. Getting a routine down, which was a little difficult, and just having that set schedule. Like Chuck said, getting on that strict, let's do this, we got to keep it up and keeping it going. I think that's the most difficult part. Jeff's lucky. He's going to the gym. I just ride my bike, and I have a couple of hand weights and a bench out back that I can do my stuff on.
So what are you guys working? Like, Jeff, what's your workout plan? Bobby, what's yours?
Well, I am just kind of going with it, like with something I used to do a while ago when I used to hit the gym like freshman year. And it's just like a routine, like kind of like full body circuit. I'm not really, I am looking for something to actually like regimen myself. But for these 2 days, I've just kind of done like shoulder presses, bicep curls, rows, and then a little bit of bench press. And I haven't done any legs because I hurt my knee running. For people who listening and can't see this, I got a pretty wicked bandaged up knee, and
what you
go to
do?
the doctor. I was running and it just kind of popped. Hurts like hell. I was looking up the symptoms and shit, and it says I might have a torn meniscus.
I was gonna say, is it a meniscus or an ACL? Because are you limping on it?
Sometimes it
Can you pivot? Can you put weight on it?
I can pivot. I could still do a foot. See, the thing is that like clued me in. I don't think it's an ACL because I can golf on it.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. But like sometimes, like some days I'll wake up and it's killing me. So I wrap it, and other days I wake up and it's fine. So
Jesus.
No legs right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna get torso up, jacked.
Chuck, when you get back into lifting weights and getting into the gym, I would definitely do what I did to slow yourself into it and not kill yourself. Jeff is getting in the gym for the first time in years, so I understand the full body circuit. I would literally YouTube whatever section you're trying to work out for that day. So I have every day separated. Monday's leg day. Tuesday is back day. Wednesday is chest day. Thursday is arms day. And then Friday I do back twice. And then Saturday I will do a full body workout. But I can just key on 3 to 5 different workouts where I push myself on that body part. I get tired. But I always do cardio. So running, keep that up. And then I always end the workout with 5 to 15 minutes of core. So it's usually like 15 minutes of running and end it with 15 minutes of core. And then in between, I'm doing maybe 15 to 20 minutes of workouts, whatever body part I have. So just so you can give that body part a rest for the next day and you can worry about something else if that makes sense.
Cool.
And I would also suggest getting enough protein so you don't get tired. What'd you say, Chuck?
So right now you're biking a lot. You've got, the sit-ups that you like, the core stuff that you're doing. And like, so walk us through like a typical day. What's that? You get up and then,
So my schedule, I don't start for the new job that I just got down here until 10 a.m. So I'm waking up now at 7:45 and I'm going for a 7-mile bike ride, which gets me back here. I leave around like 8:20 and I get back here right around 9 o'clock. I go out back, lift for literally 15 minutes, whatever workout I have that day. And then I end with a 10-minute YouTube video of core. And if you're interested in some core videos, I could send you some.
Yeah, no, pass them. I need it. My brothers would be like, yeah, he definitely needs it. So
your brother needs it?
No, my brothers would tell you that I need it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, 100%. I think I was so worried when I came down here to quarantine because I was getting in a regimen up in Columbus by myself. And I was like, what can I do? But luckily it's nice weather, so I can be outside all day long. I'm waking up, it's like 80 degrees already. So I'm like, all right, man, time to sweat. I like sweating. It's weird. I just enjoy like pushing myself to get to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, but until you got a hurricane just blowing through your backyard on a Tuesday.
I'll work out through that.
Yeah, how was that tropical storm? Did that didn't destroy your house, I see?
That was my birthday weekend. It was nuts. It was like I was so excited to like at least do something outside, whether it was go for a nice bike ride, and it just rained every damn day. And I was like, this sucks. It was just waves of rain. And it wasn't like super windy. It was just like nonstop wet. It was just, I don't know. Chuck, did you ever get any storms when you were in South Carolina?
Oh, yeah. I covered, I lived there when I lived there from 2012 through 2018, I think, and that was when the flood came through, and living through that was wild. It was like a 2,000-year flood. And it was brutal. I mean, people lost, like there were towns of people that lost everything. And
what hurricane was this?
I don't even think it was a hurricane. I think it was just a rain event. It was just like, it was just as if it just sat over South Carolina for like a long period of time, and it just did not stop. And unfortunately, people died. I mean, power lines were down. People lost everything, like their homes were destroyed. It was brutal. And then like Hurricane like Matthew came, I think, in 2016, 17, I think. And then Maria, that was another one, like with Puerto Rico.
That was last year, I thought, wasn't it? Or
that was it?
Bahama.
Yeah. All I remember is, I mean, it was bad. It was bad. So.
Damn. Jeff, again, we're talking about long and short-term goal. You're getting in shape now. What's your short-term goal?
I think just to start something new right now, because I've been like slimming for so long and just kind of like eating right. I think I got most of my like diet and like daily routine stuff pretty much down. Like I like running now. I like biking. I like to go golfing. I like what I'm eating. I like what I'm cooking. So I think like now's a good time to just kind of add something small. So I think that's like getting to the gym 2 times a week, and I don't think that's a big commitment. I think that's a good like short-term goal to like plot out 2 days. I think like Tuesday and Thursday I'm gonna go to the gym, and I'm gonna go with a plan, and just if I'm there for 20 or 30 minutes, like I went,
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good amount of progress to strive for right now.
Yeah, it's smart. I like the setting the goals, like writing it down. I feel like in college I would do that a lot, writing down what I wanted to accomplish that semester, and then when January would roll around, for the next, and have it sitting on your wall. And I've gotten away from that, but I think that's the right idea. Like every week, maybe write down a list of things you want to accomplish, and just really stick to them and cross them off. That I've done that for like financial stuff, like trying to like meet a threshold on like paying down debt. And that's been like really beneficial. And it makes you feel good when you cross it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you paid it off, or you're close, right? You're getting close.
And I've paid it off. Yeah. I've still got a lot of student loans, but I've paid off my credit card debt. Yeah.
Hey,
thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah. So, man, talk about like something on your back, man. It was brutal. For like 2 years, I really focused and paid down a lot that I should not have let build up like that. But you live and you learn, and now I've learned, and I hope to never put anything on it again.
Yeah, once we get the student debt part done, you're going to be like a free living man.
Oh, that'll be unreal. Hopefully, like if I'm ever blessed with kids, hopefully I get it paid off. Like, and there's a gap between when I like have to pay for like a kid's college and like not having to pay for mine.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think it was Joe Rogan. He talks about that, how every debt in America you can be forgiven except student loan debt, which is so, he said it's such a dumb thing because these kids are graduating at 17, 18 years old and have no idea what they're about to do when they put themselves into $20,000 to $100,000+ in debt. And they might get a good job, but they're going to be literally swimming in debt for the rest of their life to pay this off. And it's just, it's crazy. And I think during this whole time, you could see that you might not need college to do something in life. So
I agree. And I will say, like, what do they say? Like, you make the bed you sleep in, or something like that. But I mean, I put myself here. I could not afford to go to college, like at least the college that I picked. And I remember looking at like my parents and like a financial guy and being like, nah, like I get it. I'm going to be swimming in debt. And I did not realize like what I was fully getting into, but I wouldn't trade it. I've thought about it a lot, and I'm cool with it. I know that, God willing, I'll stay with it, pay it all off, and it'll be worth it. So I don't think I'd be where I'm at with the job that I have and like the life I live if I didn't go that route. And I don't like thinking about what would have happened if, and I made the decision, and I just got to.
You can't live. You can't live in the past with regrets and stuff. So keep your head looking forward. For both of you guys, though, do you guys have scales at your house?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you guys weigh yourself in and out every day or no?
Not every day, but like at the beginning of quarantine, I think I was like over 180 and like maybe like 185, like inching on 185, and like I'm not muscular enough to like be rocking 185. Yeah.
I was about to say I'm 185. What are you coming at me for?
So like I'm like that skinny fat, like, you know, I got a little bit like that I'm, you know, trying to get rid of. And I'm at like I weighed the other day 166.9, so like 167.
20 pounds? 3 months?
Yeah. Once I mean, like that was I think that was when I woke up. So like you figure you eat throughout the day. So like, you know, like by the end of the day, I would definitely wasn't 166.9. But yeah, I wrote it down. I measured myself the other day. I felt pretty good about it. So, and I can see it like in my face. So, and like in pictures, like I've got, you know, like, you know, we've been taking pictures or whatever, but like I'll look, not progress pictures, but you know what I mean, just like Facebook or Instagram posts or whatever. And I noticed that like I felt fuller, and I went home for a week, and my mom was like, man, you look heavy, like in these pictures, like compared to what I look like now. So.
Yeah, no, I was going to comment the first thing when I saw you, Chuck, even though he's from Philly, he took me to a Jackets game this past year. We had a great time. I had a great time, at least.
Yeah, we had fun.
And I was actually going through my photos recently, and you definitely were rocking a double chin there, and you have one chin right now, and you're looking very skinny in the neck. And that's the first thing that happens to me when I start gaining weight. I'll gain it in the neck area.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. Like, there's a lot of guys that do that, but you definitely, I didn't know it was 20 pounds, but that's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thanks. And like, and I know that, you know, I'm blessed with like the freshly stuff, like that, you know, to be like, just to have the meals come to you, like it's much harder, right? When you're much more difficult when you're making food on your own every night, and you got to add that to like everything you're doing. But if you're able to do it, like it is so worth it, in my opinion. I do not like cooking.
You got to become a spokesperson for them.
Yeah, I just don't like to cook, and I know some people will be like, dude, you got to like suck it up and, you know, stop being so lazy. But like the fact that I can come work at like 8 and have it like there, like pop it in the microwave. It's fresh. It's not frozen. There's no junk in it. I know I can read all the ingredients on the back. Like, and then for breakfast, I do it for lunch and dinner. And I don't plan on doing it forever. Like we talked about, like doing it in like increments, and maybe like I'm doing 12 meals a week right now. Maybe I go down to 10, and then I go down to 6. And like, I try to like make those meals. Right. And then for breakfast, I'll normally do, you guys ever have Ezekiel bread?
Jeff's the bread guy. He knows every bread.
Never had it.
It's like a whole, like, I could grab it out of my freezer, but it's like if you had to have good bread, I think I bought into it, I guess. But I have one of those in an English muffin, and then I do like 1 or 2 eggs and like some type of fruit, and I feel pretty good about it. Like I'll do an orange or a banana. Sometimes I'll just do like a avocado. Like I'll mash up an avocado and throw that on an egg, and it's quick too. It's like 1, 2, 3, and then once a week I'll throw bacon on there just to like as a treat, you know. So I've like got breakfast down. Maybe I'll get lunch down, but with running and being in a car, like a lot of time for work, it's good to like when you head back to the office or back home, if you're commuting or whatever, pop it in the microwave, eat, you're good to go. And it's just like a single serving. I know I sound like a spokesman here, but it's just made my life a lot easier.
Now, Jeff, I mean, you could take that away from Freshly and just do that for like any, you know, meal service kit, because they got a lot of those going around right now, like the fresh meal microwave thing.
Yeah.
Jeff, now you don't weigh yourself though, to get back on that?
I do, so I only do it like maybe a couple times a week. But I got one of those. I bought it off Amazon. I don't even know what the brand is, but it syncs with my phone. And it does like the whole like electromagnetic crap. It's a big long process, but basically it tells you like way too many things that you don't need to know about your body. But like you step on it, it tells you your weight, like your body fat percentage, your skeletal mass, your muscle mass, your basal metabolic rate, all this just useless stuff to me, but it's fun to look at. It's cool to watch the numbers go and all that. But
does it keep you on like a graph of how much you're weighing every day or whatever you do step on it?
yeah. So it has a tracking feature where it's just a graph over time. It shows you where every single one of those numbers fluctuate over time. So I guess since I got the scale, I've just been hovering like day in from between like 160 and 164,
Gotcha.
which is like, I mean, I need to put something on me, man. Like I'm 6'3". That is that is a tiny guy right there. So,
Crazy.
but that's kind of where I've hovered around for a while. But um,
We'll
no,
get some protein. You will
I'm not
bulk
putting
you
any
up.
fat on, so I guess that's
No.
the good point there.
Yeah, your fat would be like literally -1%. I don't know how that'd be possible, but that's how it is. Now,
What about you, Bob? Are you a scale guy every day? Are you like at the end of the week? Are you loose with it in the summertime? What's it look like?
He's a wrestler.
I wrestler, yeah. Jeff knows the story. I live and die by the scale. I weigh myself in and out every single day. Even sometimes during the middle of the day, I'd be like, I think I've ate a little too much right now. Let me go check my weight. And I'm like, that is not a number I want to be looking at 3 p.m. when I know dinner's right around the corner. So it's crazy how much in tune with my body I am. Being type 1 diabetic, I have to be anyways. Being a wrestler throughout college, having highs and lows during that time, whether it was in life or even my blood sugars, like I know when my body's feeling the best and when it's not. What foods make me feel better. Not like the super size me when he was like needing food to like feel good, like getting high off food. So I know if I eat this at this time of the night, I'm going to wake up a little sluggish during my workout. And this week is, I call it a cycle week. So I'm a big fan of pre-workout. I don't know if you guys take that before you go on runs or do anything like that. Have you ever had pre-workout?
I've taken it to like lift, but I couldn't do it to run. I think my heart would probably explode.
I used to take it like, I want to say like freshman year, like right when I started going to college, I was like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna go in the gym every day. I'm gonna start lifting and I'm gonna run 5 miles. So I bought pre-workout and I bought crappy protein powder. I was like, let's go, and that lasted about a month. So
no, and I've lived by that, and I have like three different kinds, and I know which one's gonna make me sweat more, which one's gonna push me more, and which one's just gonna like wake me up. It's kind of crazy.
that's weird. Yeah.
But I get on like 7 weeks on and then 1 week off. And I'm not lifting as much. So I think I extended a couple of weeks and this is my 1 week off. So I have been waking up. And the first day I was really sluggish, like, man, I need something to wake up. I was like, I'm just going to push myself. It was definitely a horrible workout, but now I'm waking up like not needing it. But this weekend, when I do take it, it's going to be just an absolute sweat fest. I'm going to be dripping all over the place. The heat and the humidity doesn't help at all. But yeah, no, I absolutely live and die by the scale. I think that I can make adjustments throughout the week that'll help my weight either go up or go down. So yeah, no, that's how I absolutely am. Now, what about long-term goals? Obviously, we're doing the short-term goals right now. What do you want to like? I mean, that's such a wide question. So I'll let just Chuck answer it how you want to answer that.
Like physically, like,
Yeah, sure. I mean, physically, yeah. What's your ideal weight? How many days you want to work out?
Okay. I mean, I like pipe dream, right? I gotta like back it all up, but I would love it, man. Like if I were the type that got up, got in a good run, worked out, ate healthy, like was sitting like Bruce Lee, like you look at like pictures of Bruce Lee and he's like shredded, like I don't think I'd ever want to be bulky, but like look like that, like physically, and eat right, sleep healthy, and just really prioritized it where I haven't. I think I'm probably healthier now than I've been in a long time. Yeah, which has been nice, like nutritionally, especially. Like I'm not eating fast food as much as I used to. I'm not drinking soda as much as I used to.
Can you feel it though? Can you feel a difference in your waking up every day without having that garbage in your body?
Yeah, big time. But like there are days where you like crave it. Like I really want Cane's. Like I want to eat chicken fingers and French fries right now. And the verdict is out on whether or not I'm going to go get it after we're done this podcast. But I have, instead of like waking up, not eating breakfast, going through a drive-through while on the road at work and coming back to maybe grill a steak, like, on a, like sear a steak on the pan and maybe eat frozen vegetables instead of like going back to like a Chipotle and doing something like that. Was like what my diet was, for a long time. And then now I try really hard to get up and like eat breakfast, even if it's something small. I've cut out juice. Like I used to drink a lot of orange juice in the morning.
I wonder why.
Yeah. I cut that out. And then I'll do the freshly for lunch and dinner. And I always know it's there, like, and then it's become the thing where it's like, oh, I really want that burrito. And it's like, dude, you spent the money on like expensive food. Like you better eat it. You can't let it go to waste, then it's just like, then you're like shooting yourself twice, So, but yeah, if I could be like lean, mean, in the next like 2 years, I'm 27 on Sunday. So I'm like, if I could be lean and mean by 30, like, we're talking real long term, then like I would be good. But you got to stick with it, right? And it's been a constant thing where I dive into something, I say I'm gonna do it, like on a nutrition. Like I feel like I'm pretty good career wise, pretty good like with my faith and with family and friends and stuff. I would hope, but nutritionally, physically, nah. Yeah. So.
Jeff, what about you?
Bud, I have no goddamn clue. I like life's coming at me just so fast right now. Starting my career, finishing college. I mean, it literally feels like just like a couple months ago that I graduated high school. So like, what the hell? I've gone through so many different like body and lifestyle transformations. Like started being vegetarian, dropped a bunch of weight, quit being vegetarian, gained a bunch of weight back, started being vegetarian again. Oh, there it goes down. And then, I go through all these like cycles of like, oh, I want to do this with my college career. Oh, I want to do this. And now I got a job. And so it's really like, I don't know, like I'm trying to establish some sort of consistency, I think, with like this this COVID break that I got right now. Running, golfing, cooking. I think I'm finally trying to kind of ease into not changing my life up every 6 months. Yeah. And I not that I want to settle down. Like I really, I want to go above and beyond, and there's a ton of shit that I want to do by the time I'm like 25, say, which is 3 years from now. But like, I don't know, like, I just hope it's a little bit more consistent because it's been coming at me fast.
Yeah, no, I mean, life does come at you fast. And I think I tweeted that out today, actually. Ohio State and Alabama scheduled a home and home for 2027, 2028. And I was like, I'm going to be 3 and 34 years old when these games happen. Like, what? And I'm like you, Jeff. I'm like, a couple years ago, I was in college. I was watching college football games. And on Facebook the other day, one of the kids that lived next door to me in college, it was his birthday. And I'm like, I remember meeting him my senior year, and life was just so easy. And it's just how different everything happens at you. And I think Chuck and I are kind of at the same points and different points in our lives, but like we are hitting the adulthood, trying to figure out who we are as a person. And then all of a sudden coronavirus smacks us. You're like, all right, life's put on hold, but we still got to go through the motions because we got to keep earning money and filling our paychecks and stuff. So,
quick aside, hot take, but I can't stand this like 10-year scheduling like shit. Because I know college sports is different because they recruit, but sports is so volatile and full of parity that like there's an actual chance that in 2027 neither of those schools will be good.
Yes, but that's the whole thing. You're trying to guess that the teams are going to be good.
Dude, what if we get there and like both teams are just shit?
Okay, shut up. That means Ohio State's bad. I don't want to talk about that. That's my team. Even though I'm down here living, that is still my team.
Listen,
Tom Brady's still going to be playing football, though. That's all that matters, too.
Capital Crusaders lost 90-0 to John Carroll this past season.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So, on our homecoming night.
Yeah, it's the second worst homecoming loss I've seen. My freshman year in high school, Chuck, you like this. My high school team lost 96-0. It was the worst high school homecoming loss in the history of football. We got on, yeah, dude. It was all over national news. It was horrible, and yeah, it was bad. I think this past year though, we beat the team, Beechcroft, to beat us. It was the first time in our program history we beat them. But I remember like my senior year, so 4 years afterwards, they still had signs in the stadium that said 96-0. I was like, fuck these dudes. But life's happening fast. You can't dread on it because everyone else is going through it. It's not just happened to one person. So I hope everyone out there can get on a regimen. If you need help, Chuck's here, Jeff's here, I'm here.
Not certified professionals, please don't.
Yeah, if you want a professional, we can hook you up with anyone out in LA named Patrick Wilson. So. But no, I think we're all human and we're all going through stuff together, and everyone's gonna have ups and down weeks. So, Chuck, you got any last things you want to say before we wrap things up here?
I don't know. I feel like you're inching on quoting Ferris Bueller there. Life moves pretty fast, and I've been trying to punch in. Because if you don't stop and look around, sometimes you might miss it.
And by the way, Chuck is the biggest movie fan ever, and this dude quotes movies left and right. Oh my god, I miss that so much. Before we sign off, though, there was Bad News Bears, the new one. Have you seen that one with Billy Bob Thornton?
And I mean, it's not the worst movie ever, but I'm a fan of the original. My dad showed me the original when I was a kid, and I could quote that movie for days.
Oh my god, no! I just love Billy Bob Thornton. I think he's so funny, and there was just every baseball movie has just great one-liners. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Chuck, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, this has been fun. I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I know I couldn't do it for a hot minute, and this has been a good time. I'd love to come back if you guys would have me.
Absolutely.
Awesome, yeah.
Jeff's got some stuff he's got to rattle off.
I got a few things. So if you want to listen to this podcast, you could find any of our 25 episodes now.
Woo!
The quarter century mark. Here we are. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Facebook Live. What am I missing? SoundCloud.
Yep.
Pretty sure that's it.
YouTube.
Hey, go give us some YouTube love. We need that. I upload them to all those places, so I should probably know where they're going. But other than that, you can find us on Twitter at Untitled Bros. Give us a tweet, give us a notification, maybe DM us, see if we actually log into that thing. If you want to talk to us about a topic, a previous topic, a new topic, if you even want to be on the show, shoot us an email at untitledpodcastoh@gmail.com. We're always looking to talk with you guys. Thanks so much for supporting the show. 25 episodes strong. Bobby.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe it. I mean, we really thought about this idea back in August, September when I was still up there with you, and it just kind of came together when I were 25 deep. This podcast has definitely been the most difficult to get to just because Chuck's a tough guy to track down. This guy first off, before we sign off too, this guy, again, lived in Philly, outside of Philly, went to school in South Carolina. They came to Columbus, and he was brand new. I'm trying to be friends with this kid, invite him over, introduce him to my friends.
Come on.
3 fucking times with this kid. I've asked this guy to come over, hang out. This guy leaves me on red, doesn't even answer text message.
Oh, he's on blast at the end of the episode. Oh my God, Bobby, Jesus!
I was heartbroken, man. I'm trying to be a nice guy, lend a hand to this guy. I got good food. This guy obviously likes food because he was.
Oh my God, it's Bloody Sunday. It's just a massacre at the end.
No, I'm so pumped. This guy's finally on the podcast. I love this kid to death. Chuck, happy birthday this Sunday, my friend. Happy 27th, and I hope you live 73 more years, 83.
And tell me. Let me know when you're in Columbus. We'll meet up again. We went to the hockey game too. You can't forget the hockey game.
We did.
We did. Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Everyone out there, be safe and party on.